Hello and welcome back to my channel. A major match is expected to take place at the upcoming PPV event called Backlash, where on one side we'll see Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker, and on the other side, their opponents will be Roman Reigns and CM Punk. This match is expected, and we might see an official announcement regarding it on an upcoming episode of SmackDown or Raw. But the real news is not just that this match is expected to happen at Backlash 2025. The real news is that this feud is likely to continue for a longer period, and WWE might stretch it all the way to Survivor Series 2025. Now, if WWE is planning something like this, then it's confirmed that more members will be added to both teams. As far as Paul Heyman's new faction is concerned, it's certain that more members will be added to it. And when we talk about Roman Reigns' team, it will depend on his expected feud with Seth Rollins. If this feud continues for long, then just like Paul Heyman's faction adds more people, Roman Reigns' team will also gain new members. However, if the feud ends right after Backlash 2025, then no more members will be added to Roman Reigns' team. One key point to note is that WWE originally planned a singles feud between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. But now that Paul Heyman's faction has been formed, which is clearly against both CM Punk and Roman Reigns, it seems that the Roman Reigns vs CM Punk storyline has been put on hold for now. Because if this faction is built to go against both Punk and Roman, then how can WWE separate them from the storyline? At least not for now. In today's video, we'll be revealing the potential wrestlers who might join both teams, and also discuss the new names being teased on social media. And we'll also talk about when new members will be added to both teams. First, let's discuss when more members might join these two teams. Viewers, the most likely scenario is that WWE will add new members after the planned match at Backlash. As you may remember, during the time of the Bloodline, new members were added gradually, step by step. So what might happen is, during the match between Team Paul Heyman and Team Roman Reigns at Backlash 2025, a new member could appear and join Paul Heyman's faction, attacking Roman Reigns and CM Punk, costing them the match. Only after that, Roman Reigns and CM Punk might get new allies. There's also another angle. Since Paul Heyman's faction seems to be forming based on the evolution pattern, there's a possibility that their fourth member could be introduced even before Backlash 2025. Now, let's look at the potential wrestlers who might join both teams. First, we'll talk about Paul Heyman's faction, and then we'll reveal some surprising names related to Roman Reigns' team. Currently, there are two potential names being linked to Paul Heyman's team that are shocking everyone. Fans are digging up old pictures and sharing them on social media. The most surprising name so far is Big Bronson Reed, who posted something on Instagram yesterday that made everyone start speculating. He shared a picture of himself with Seth Rollins and wrote underneath, "Something change, but something stay same." After reading this caption, fans are speculating that Bronson Reed is about to return, and not just return, but possibly join Paul Heyman's faction and work alongside his former enemy, Seth Rollins. The next surprising name is Sami Zayn. When I first heard this name, even I was shocked. Sami Zayn? Really? But honestly, it's possible. Fans on social media are sharing old pictures where Seth Rollins is seen trying to turn Sami Zayn against Roman Reigns. Now, those old pictures have resurfaced and fans are once again speculating that maybe Seth Rollins is still trying to recruit Sami Zayn to his side. Next on our list is Drew McIntyre, a wrestler who is a major rival of both Roman Reigns and CM Punk. He never misses a chance to hurt them, physically or in storyline. Now that he's currently free from other storylines, he may once again look for a chance to target Roman and Punk. And since Paul Heyman's faction is already forming against these two, WWE might consider adding Drew McIntyre to the faction based on their past feuds. The next name is Gunther. On the most recent episode of Raw, Gunther showed up as an even more ruthless heel than before. After losing his title at a major event, he was so furious he even attacked the commentary staff. Now, Gunther might either go after Jey Uso for a rematch, or he might choose to join Paul Heyman's faction and start destroying everything in his path. What do you think? Next, we have Rusev, who recently returned to WWE as a ruthless heel. From the moment he returned, he attacked like a true villain. Now, his name is also being heavily discussed on social media, with many wondering if he could be added to Paul Heyman's faction. These are all experienced, older wrestlers. But if WWE really is building this faction on the Evolution style pattern, then they will likely add a young superstar as the fourth member. Among those young superstars, the first name that comes up is Austin Theory. He could very well be part of Paul Heyman's faction. Back in the Vince McMahon era, he was getting a strong push and was about to enter a major storyline. But after Vince left, his momentum was lost. Now, it seems WWE might be planning to rebuild Austin Theory once again. Another young wrestler being discussed is Dominic Mysterio. Yes, so far Dominic has done an impressive job as a heel, but there's some doubt about his involvement, because after becoming the Intercontinental Champion, he received a positive fan reaction, which may lead to a babyface turn. However, if Dominic does align with Paul Heyman, he'll have plenty of opportunities to shine. Next is Carmelo Hayes, another young wrestler. Who could possibly join Paul Heyman's faction? Besides that, some NXT names are also being discussed on social media, rumored to be potential members of Heyman's faction, including Trick Williams, Ricky Saints, and Killer Cross. These are the potential names being discussed to join Paul Heyman's faction, but it's possible that WWE might surprise us with something bigger. Now, let's take a look at the potential names for Roman Reigns' team. First, viewers, you must remember that the official end of Roman Reigns' Bloodline has not happened yet, so we should always expect Bloodline to be at the top of the list. In other words, we might once again witness a Bloodline reunion. However, since WWE is now looking to pair younger wrestlers with bigger stars to prepare them for the future, we can assume that just as Bron Breakker got a chance in Paul Heyman's faction, WWE is likely to add a young star to Roman Reigns' team who will benefit by working alongside Roman Reigns and CM Punk. So the first name on our list is Jacob Fatu. Recently, despite being a heel, Jacob Fatu has been receiving positive reactions from the crowd. It's possible that Jacob Fatu could have a babyface turn and join this storyline. A while ago, we saw a face-off between Bron Breakker and Jacob Fatu. Could WWE continue this storyline and show these two wrestlers facing off in the future? However, it's worth noting that WWE might have plans to build Jacob Fatu separately for the future. Next comes the name of Damian Priest. Yes, even though he is a former world heavyweight champion, he still needs the opportunity to shine. If he gets the chance to work alongside Roman Reigns and CM Punk, it would certainly be a massive boost for Damian Priest's career. The next name is of a wrestler who has been continuously overlooked, and perhaps now he'll finally be included in a major storyline. Yes, I'm talking about Braun Strowman. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the possibility of Big Bronson rejoining Paul Heyman's team has been discussed. In a similar vein, Braun Strowman is being speculated to join Roman Reigns and CM Punk's team. If WWE truly decides to go in that direction, it would be very beneficial for Braun Strowman. At least he'll finally get a deserving storyline. Next comes Cody Rhodes. Since Cody Rhodes has finished his storyline with John Cena, he is likely to join Roman Reigns and CM Punk's team. We've already seen that, despite being enemies, Cody and Roman Reigns have helped each other during difficult times. Another name circulating on social media is Brock Lesnar's return. This isn't just a rumor, but rather a wish from the fans that Brock Lesnar returns and joins CM Punk and Roman Reigns. Imagine what would happen if this actually occurs. On one side, Paul Heyman would have 3 former allies with whom he betrayed, and on the other side, Paul Heyman's new faction would be forming. Just thinking about it sends chills down my spine. What an incredible atmosphere that would create. Lastly, the name of Randy Orton comes up. Yes, if Paul Heyman's faction enters the scene at Backlash 2025 against Randy Orton, and if Paul Heyman directly takes instructions from The Rock to help John Cena, then Randy Orton would definitely join Roman Reigns' team. Another important point is that if WWE really follows the evolution pattern for creating a faction, then Randy Orton would certainly be involved in opposing this faction. These are the potential names for both teams. If you think any other wrestler will join these teams, be sure to write their names in the comments. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.